Dan Burke and Robert Olson grew up obsessed with the golden era of 80s action movies, worshipping box office hits like Midnight Run, Lethal Weapon, and Die Hard. When they came across the script for a high-concept film named Novocaine, in which a mild-mannered man named Nate can't feel pain and has to save his love interest from violent bank robbers, they loved the idea. But they were eager to add the humor and pathos that elevated their favorites. There was something about those films where they're very funny, yet they don't lose their stakes, Olson says. They're not such a comedy that they don't care about the characters. They have protagonists you get to know. Luckily, Burke and Olson, who had previously written and directed films such as the 2019 horror comedy Villains and the 2022 sci-fi trip Significant Other, were able to take a pass at the script and add a levity that would welcome audiences in. The result is their version of Novocaine, which opens in theaters Friday via Paramount Pictures. It was a necessity to have that blend because there's so much gore and grisly violence in it that if you didn't also allow the audience to laugh, it might become gratuitous, Olson says. It might become torture. It might become too much. We always say if he could feel pain and was crying out for his mother like Giovanni Ribisi in Saving Private Ryan every time he was getting injured, you wouldn't want to watch it. The fact that he can't feel it, and the fact that a lot of those beats of violence are accompanied by or immediately followed by some kind of joke lets you, the audience member, laugh. The film's tricky tone of gory violence and comedy rests on Nate's shoulders, and early on the duo visualized Jack Quaid as the perfect lead. From watching his performance on the murderous superhero series The Boys, Burke and Olson saw an energy in his everyman comedic performances that inspired them to dub him his generation's Tom Hanks. Yet to perfect this role took an unconventional skill set. Jack had to rewire his brain so that he could get punched and not flinch, Olson says. Your whole life as an actor, you're told to sell the hit, and when you get punched, you flinch, you wince, you sell the pain. He had to work with our stunt coordinator, Stanimir Stamadov, to untrain himself from that. Despite Nate's ability to not feel pain, Burke and Olson were meticulous in working to make sure the internal logic of the film stayed grounded, no matter how heightened the situations became. He's not a superhero, and we were going to take liberties with how far the human body can be pushed, Burke says. Every action movie does, but we wanted to stay within a semi-believable realm within the rule system of our movie. So what we did with our stunt team was we went through and audited every single hit in the movie, and we transferred a lot of those head hits down into body hits. We didn't want his face to be mashed potatoes by the midpoint of the movie. Another element that kept the action from becoming too grim was the love story at the heart of the narrative, as Nate is taking all of these blows to save his love interest Sherry, Amber Midhunter. We think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised with how we want you to walk away from this movie feeling better about humanity than you did walking in, Burke says. We want it to stick with you a little. It's not just about the shocks and blood and all that, because there are certainly lower-brow versions of our movies, and we really try to avoid making those. Our movies are designed to be fun and have a positive vibe under them, Olson adds. A lot of them are exploring love and friendship and things like that. Even our darker stuff usually has some exploration of that. Ultimately, Burke and Olson were able to thread the needle on the ambitious Novocaine, and if audiences embrace the film, they'd love to dive deeper into the world for a sequel, which serves as a testament to the wholesome joy they felt on the set of their ultra-violent film. It was a blast, so we would absolutely come back and revisit this world, Olson says. This was the most incredible film set we've ever been on, and that's all because our actors are such incredible people, and a film set can be the most fun place in the world. It can be adult summer camp where you're all hugging and crying at the end, and you made all these new friends.